Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Sox on Tap.
Tony, my first reaction is just, fuck yes, let's go.
Sox versus Richmond. That's where it all starts. It all starts taking care of business in-house in the Central Division.
That's right, I'm a meatball.
You got to bring that top button swag, baby.
It is always great to beat the Cubs.
And I'm a homer, so I always say they're gonna.
Dallas Keuchel Lansing got some beards that you should be afraid of.
What everybody said when he gets out there, it's me versus the other guy, and I'm going to beat him. So I just love that mentality. It's cool and fucking tough.
Steve, would you say that Tony is mad online?
I would definitely say that.
The White Sox winner.
Hello, White Sox fans, and welcome into the Sox on Tap postgame show. Jonnie and Untitled here alongside Tony Marchese discussing a 4-0 White Sox victory. Tony, I see you got the victory beers flowing there. How good does that taste?
It tastes phenomenal, Jonnie. It tastes absolutely phenomenal. I can't lie. I needed this. I know everybody out there needed this. Feels great to be back on a winning White Sox Sox on Tap post-game show, Jonnie. I hope you're enjoying a victory beer yourself tonight.
Yeah, dude, it feels fantastic. Like you said, I think we all just, the whole South Side breathes a collective just sigh of relief after that one, because overall it was a clean ball game, and it was a ball game in which things went the right way for the White Sox. And right before we jumped on here, what did I say? Yeah, we got a little lucky at a couple instances, but we have been lucky for the last 2 weeks. It was about damn time.
It was about damn time, Jonnie. Again, like I said, you said you've got some things to complain about, just minor stuff throughout the day.
One minor thing.
I don't have much to complain about here. It was a clean ball game. The Sox caught breaks. It felt good for the Sox to catch breaks. That's the kind of thing that you're going to need to get yourself out of this little rut. And you know what? Sometimes it just goes your way, and I'm not going to complain about that.
All right. White Sox set the tone early in this game, Tony. I mean, actually, before that, since the title of this episode is Vince brought the vibes, we got to talk about that. But it was a tone-setting win. Thank you, Matt, for the comment. Just a general opener there. Let's talk Vince Velasquez. Vince brought the vibes today. What an outstanding outing for this guy, Tony. Did you even expect this?
No, not at all. I didn't expect this from Velasquez, not one bit. He's got stuff, and I think that you could have expected this ball game at some point from him. Unfortunately for myself, didn't expect it today. Was happily rewarded by it, but this was something that I think not a lot of people expected at all, and that's what makes it even more fun, right? Like that's what makes it even more fun.
Yeah. Overall in the day for Vince Velasquez, 5 2/3, 4 hits, 0 runs. Love to see that. 0 walks as well. 6 Ks. Outstanding outing. And I love after the game, I listened to him talk a little bit post game, and he just said that how he was honestly a little surprised at himself with how locked in he was. And even when it got to that rain delay in that 6th inning, he just wanted to throw that last pitch and get Trout out to finish his outing. I love that.
I love that attitude too, man. I mean, this is the kind of start that you can start to build some momentum off of, Jonnie. I mean, it's a guy who you didn't expect to be in your starting rotation, coming out and absolutely shoving against a really, really deep lineup that the Angels have. I mean, these
offense in April, right?
Yeah, I think so, if not one of the best. I mean, you've got Shohei Ohtani, you've got Mike Trout, Rendon. Those are just 3 guys right there who are insanely tough hitters to face. And Velasquez, what did Ohtani finish? 0 for 4 today. He just handled stuff. And it was cool and tough to watch, man. It was cool and tough to see him go out there. And, you say he brought the vibes, Jonnie. He brought everything. He left it all out there on the mound today. You wish the rain didn't come at the exact moment that it did. But overall, this is more than you could even ask for out of this guy. He went out there today and he just pitched his balls off.
So, yes, right. And like I said, I was it's still in awe at the absolute size of Vince Velasquez's sack today. Just incredible. Absolutely incredible. So great job, Vince Velasquez. Round of applause all around from the Sox on Tap crew. Talk about setting the tone. Tim Anderson, first inning, first pitch. Let's go. Home run out to right field. Tony, I love seeing that.
Love seeing that too. And I know you tweeted out there the set the tone shirts. We need more set the tone shirts in the ballpark. Timmy did just that. Man, that is just such a way to start the ball game for a team that, was back struggling again offensively. You talked about it the other day, just amongst us and the Sox on Tap crew, that hitting is contagious.
Best
It
believe
just
it.
follows along with the set the tone theme that we've got going on here, Jonnie. And, you would have liked 10 runs. Everybody would like 10 runs. I said I wasn't going to complain. Here I am. But the White Sox offense was at least moving today in unison with the pitching staff. That's what's important here. Man, it was just a fun ball game to watch.
Yeah, after I was in attendance for Friday night's game, the 3-hit performance, very little going on from the White Sox bats. 10 hits today, Tony. 10 hits. I'll get to my one area, and that's they need to do a better job of bringing in runners when they have them in scoring position. I know Luis Robert did it later in the game with a 3-run home run. Which was, very opportunistic and cool and tough. But there were a couple other instances that I just need to read off here. Bottom of the second, Grandal leadoff walk wasted. Harrison leadoff single and gets the third on an errant throw. Tried to take advantage of the other team's mistakes, wasted. Can't get him home. Brayu leads off the fourth, the single, and Grandal singles right after him, wasted. Then you also had after that Luis Robert home run, Pollock singled, Brayu walked, and then ground and dope play, waste that. Need to start converting on those opportunities and really bury some of these teams. I'd like to see it, but that's my one area, and I'm done with any of the complaints now. I just had to get that out of the way.
I'll build on it. I'll build on it for you. This is something that we've talked about consistently on this show, is being opportunistic, burying your opponents, that type of thing. Fortunately today for the White Sox, the pitching staff came out and they covered up some of that. And the offense still was moving enough for this team to get a win, Jonnie. But yes, that kind of goes back to I'd like to see 10 runs.
I'll go and spin that into a positive. At least they're having the opportunities now, because they didn't even give themselves a chance in some previous games, especially against the Royals, beginning of that series, obviously the first game of this series against the Angels. So I can't spin it in that. And it is good to see, okay, Yaz gets a hit today, Abreu's getting hit, and then, drawing some walks too. That's nice to see. White Sox drew some walks. Get guys on base.
They didn't walk anybody.
Yeah. Give yourself a chance, man.
That's a recipe for success. Don't walk anybody. Take your walks. I liked the plate approach today. It was a little bit different than what we've seen during this stretch, Jonnie. Any thoughts there? You talk about taking walks and the plate approach.
Yeah, you're more patient. They're willing to take walks. It felt like it was a rule where they were playing a game where there was no walks for a stretch of baseball there. Now it seems they've realized that, yes, that is also a viable way to get on base. Not as flashy as a hit or putting out of the ballpark, obviously, but you do it, and maybe someone else behind you will put it out of the ballpark like Luis Robert did.
Can we go out and say getting on base, Jonnie, is cool and tough?
Yeah,
no matter how you get on base, just get on base.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was talking a little bit to some of my friends when we were discussing the White Sox offensive struggles last night following the game, and I'd said there's, not that everybody should just be looking to walk every time, but hey, if you're really struggling and you're really fighting it, try to take the Yasmani Grandal approach that he did. Remember early last season before the knee eventually gave out, but he knew he didn't have power behind him in the legs. What did he do? He got on base by taking walks. He drew 9 walks in one series at one point.
Hey,
it's
whatever works
to set up scoring chances. Yeah.
Whatever works. It's all about scoring runs and keeping runs off the board. And I know that sounds super simplistic and almost cliche, but you see the team come out there and do that today. The end result's a W. that's what we care about. That's why victory beers taste better, Jonnie.
Yeah.
I was sick of drinking misery beers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sick of
And a big reason for that, obviously, Tim Anderson's held up. That was the game-winning hit. First pitch that an Angels pitcher threw, they allowed the game-winning run. So there you go. There's our little, the hockey reference that I always like to slip in here. But that ended up being it. But obviously, the Luis Robert one makes you feel a lot better, makes Vince Velasquez feel more comfortable when he goes out there. All the relievers having that 4-run cushion as opposed to 1 is huge. Great to see Luis Robert too, that the kind of minor tweak luckily didn't go on the IL but missed 6 games, comes back, obviously 0 in the first game back, but to see him back to doing Luis Robert things is very nice.
Absolutely is. I think that part of the reason for this White Sox kind of struggle and the losing streak and just the abysmal play, you didn't have one of your best players. And this is something that our guy NWI Steve talked about on the season preview show, Jonnie, is, you need Luis Robert to kind of be that guy in your offense. He is such an important piece here. Yesterday had a ball hit, close to 115 miles an hour that goes straight to Mike Trout. Today puts one out of the yard. And that's what you like to see. I saw a couple of different White Sox hitters today drive the ball and actually get the end result that is expected when you are mashing baseballs. That was awesome to watch.
Even more impressive, a lot of that into the wind and through some rain.
Yes. I mean, outside of the Lurie Garcia home run, Lurie legend, no Lurie slander here. Outside of that, it was kind of like, you're watching these baseball games, Jonnie, and you're wondering, like, is it the ball? Is it the what's going on here? What type of, like, are we back in the Metrodome? Like, are there fans blowing in in our own home ballpark? Why are these balls not leaving the yard? I was getting super angry yesterday at the broadcast because it was almost like you're watching this and everything's going to the warning track. Nothing's leaving the yard. Balls are just not finding grass. And today it was just a little bit different. I'm really happy. You mentioned, they're putting themselves in opportunities to score runs.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're not going to get it done, but overall, man, if you're giving yourself an opportunity to score runs in 5 or 6 innings of a ball game versus 1 or 2, hey, I mean, play the chances here. That's just a recipe for success. Loved what I saw today. It felt like a weight lifted off of my shoulders, just seeing balls landing in the outfield that, don't land in a glove.
Yeah. One last comment from the lineup section of the box score here, Tony. AJ Pollock, 2-hit day. That is great to see because we know he can be a streaky hitter. We've heard it from the Dodgers people. They commented on that, and it's the theme was don't completely lose the faith in him, because guess what? He's going to come back and he's going to go on a tear that makes you think he's never going to miss a ball again. Well, seeing him double and a single today, that was excellent. Get back into that rhythm that he, it's weird to say because it was only a game in 3 innings at the very beginning of the year, but he was hot as hell to start the year. 3 hits in the first game, another hit in the second game of the year. Man.
Yep, he's another guy who's been banged up just a little bit. And he welcomed his child into the world during that first series. Had a little IL stint. It's good to see him get going because I tried to keep even keel on AJ Pollock because it would be real easy. It would be real easy, Jonnie. This is easy fruit to pick to say, why the hell did we make this trade? Overreactions, that type of stuff. With the struggles that he had early on here, you want your trade acquisitions to be impact players.
You want immediate,
you want immediate, immediacy, and you're the king of immediacy.
I want immediate returns.
Exactly. I want make an investment, and the next day it's double what it's worth.
Yeah, right.
But that's just,
totally logical. Yeah.
It's totally logical. It that makes so much sense. But to see AJ Pollock start to get going, that could be a huge difference maker for this White Sox offense. He's a guy that can bat literally anywhere in your lineup. You play all 3 outfield positions. You just want to see him succeed and start to be welcomed on the sell side. That's what you want. And here we go. Let's see if this is the hot streak that we've heard about.
Yeah. Hey, it's a good start. Good omen. I like that. A lot of things about there are good omens, Tony. things finally breaking the White Sox way. Obviously, a couple generous calls, and I know we'd probably be livid if they were opposite of us. But I guess there's only one that was super, super egregious. That Kendall Grayman slider in the 8th to get out of that inning. But hey, we'll take it. Like I said, we haven't had luck in 2 weeks, so it's good to have it back. Lady Luck with us. Yeah. Let's talk bullpen while we're at that tone there, because Tanner Banks comes in. It's not easy to do, coming in after a rain delay for all parties involved. Obviously, you knew Vince Velasquez's day would be done. Tanner Banks comes in against the best player in baseball, gets the job done, gets him to ground out. We're out of that inning. And then Aaron Bummer, Kendall Grayman, Liam Hendricks, all spotless as well. What do you see from the pen?
I'm liking the turnaround from the pen here. Obviously, small sample size with what you see today. Aaron Bummer being used in a non-high leverage situation. This was a hot topic amongst the crew here today. Like the turnaround, like the throwing strikes thing.
He got ahead.
Yes. You like to see Aaron Bummer work ahead. Regardless of it being a lower leverage situation than you're used to seeing Aaron Bummer in, Jonnie, still facing a tough lineup and being able to get the job done here. That's got to be a confidence booster for Aaron Bummer.
He faced the heart, I'm pretty sure, the heart of that order when he did, and sent him down 1, 2, 3. Multiple ground balls. Obviously, we know that can be a specialty with that sweeping slider and the sinker that he throws. Be able to get the guys with that, like sidearm, a little lower than 3/4 lefty action that he has there. So I would just suggest, just me playing armchair manager here, to continue using him in a few lower leverage situations as we go forward here for a little bit, until that confidence is fully built back up, because it doesn't just happen in one outing.
No, it doesn't. And the best possible outcome of this, Jonnie, is you get another ball game within this next 2 or 3 game stretch where you can utilize Aaron Bummer in kind of a similar role and kind of just continue to build that confidence back.
Part of that's the bats. If you give them the cushion, then it doesn't, you're less susceptible to having high leverage situations.
Absolutely. And, just one last closing note on Aaron Bummer. They talked about it on the broadcast a little bit, the sinker not sinking for him, and Kat's working with him to try and find that release point for it. You can get in a zone real quick when you have those low leverage situations to kind of work through some of that stuff. You hope he finds a zone and goes on a little bit of a run. There's going to be ups and downs in everybody's season, but if all these guys in the bullpen who went through some of these bad stretches, Liam Hendricks included, can figure it out in April, it bodes well for May and June. And this is the toughest part of the schedule right here. Our guy NWI Steve has talked about that relentlessly. This is a good opportunity to right the ship for a couple of guys and some ball games that are going to be a little bit more intense earlier on in your season schedule. So you hope that this was the start of a turnaround for Aaron Bummer, but he's not out of the woods yet. Correct. I think is what you're trying to get to. I wholeheartedly agree with what you're saying here. There has to be that build back up. I don't want to see him used in a high leverage situation like tomorrow. That would just, I don't think that's the greatest way to go about this.
Because who's earned it more than him, who did not appear today, but Jose Ruiz. He has earned it more than Aaron Bummer at this point.
Isn't that wild to say, though, Jonnie? Is that wild to say?
It's what have you done for me lately, Tony?
That's true. We've talked about that many a times, but it's just wild that Jose Ruiz is that guy over Aaron Bummer right now. He's weird baseball things.
He's another guy who's had command issues, but he had seemingly worked those out for the most part overall so far this season, whereas Aaron Bummer is obviously struggling in that area. So last 2 names to comment on here. Kendall Grayman, obviously we talked about the lucky call that he got, but overall, once again, this guy is just nails. So this is a perfect example of getting your immediate returns, Tony.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Making Rick Hahn look like a genius.
Yes. Kendall Grayman, there was a little bit of struggle here. Get some lucky calls from him, from the umpires on the end there. But is he like your favorite 8th inning guy right now that you've seen on this ball club 100%. In the last few years?
Easy.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. I just want to make sure you're on the same page.
A lot of that. some of that's a little recency because there was a stretch, I will say, in 2019 where Aaron Bummer was friggin' lights out, and that's why we knew that he had the stuff to be able to be that kind of like wipe out and like, ground ball specialist pitcher. And obviously from the left side doing that. But in terms of consistency and what, he's given us so far, Kendall Grayman, absolutely. Probably my most
Yes.
calming option. So that's a good word to describe it.
Calming is a good word. I didn't really think that we were in too much trouble. I figured that he would be able to work out of it. This is a guy that's got closing experience. He's pitched in the playoffs. He's had high leverage work throughout his entire career. When Liam Hendricks was on the shelf there for a couple of days, stepped into that role, very confident with him on the mound, Jonnie.
Yes, I've been confident. I think he introduced himself well to the south side. He did have a little hiccup in Minnesota, obviously plagued by some bad defense there as well. But overall, it's been pretty, he's been pretty damn reliable. So I like what I see from Graveman. And hey, Liam Hendricks back in the mix now. Back issues seem to be resolved from last weekend in Minnesota. Had this sort of full week off, at least weekdays off, so to say, and looked good. I didn't see any signs of the back issues showing up. He went, did allow one walk, but he was working close on Rendon. That's a good hitter. And when you don't have anybody on, already 2 outs, I can live with that. And other than that, a couple of flyouts and a line out to end the game. Josh Harrison, nice snag there at the end too. I like the swagger on that.
I did as well, Jonnie. That was I hope that one
good
shows up on some highlight reels. Yes, that was a highlight reel play.
Yeah, great exclamation point for it. I love the end. Okay, so we talked about vibes a little bit, and obviously Vince brought the vibes today, but Sean Roberts big on the vibes when we're talking about this team. This team looks like they're having fun again, at least for today.
They did, and there were smiles in the dugout. There was laughter. There was all the good signs. Sean Roberts on the vibes, Buzz on the juju. I watched some of that stuff too. Yeah, you felt good today.
You want to know one of my how I knew that the boys were right today? Is when obviously Luis Robert hitting the home run. The performance, you got to have that to have these reactions. But Josh Harrison going between second and third on that, and he turns around to look at it, and he points up, and he's jumping up, and he's getting all excited about it before he rounds third base and heads home to greet his teammates there. That was great for me. I love seeing that.
Much different look. And Harrison tried to play that same type of style yesterday. It kind of bit him in the ass a little bit with the challenge at second base. Good to see him come back today and help his team win a ball game. Yeah. Just a note that I had from watching today versus yesterday was that, outside of things going their way, I thought that Josh Harrison played an excellent ball game, Jonnie, and that went a little understated, I think.
He did because the average has been low to start. It's, granted he has had multiple injury issues so far this year. Luckily nothing that's knocked him to the IL really, but obviously we know with the hopping over Andrew Vaughn in Cleveland and the little tightness that he experienced during the Mariners series, I believe. So good to see him get back in a groove and bring the energy because you need that. I feel like that's kind of like what Brian Goodwin and Billy Hamilton did last year.
100%. And those were two names that keep coming up in my. Yes.
Look at this, Nathan, my man. You and me are telepathic here. He said the exact same thing that I just did in the comment. Love it.
Yeah, having fun is contagious, Jonnie. Having fun is contagious.
It's like hitting is contagious.
Hey, winning should be contagious here too. We got another ball game tomorrow. I want to win that one too.
Yeah, right. And you got 2 more against these Angels because this is a series that lops over into Monday. They're having some of those this year, and this is the first time the White Sox will experience doing that. So let's move in and look ahead to that Sunday game. I guess the only news we have in between here to transition is that Andrew Vaughn is day-to-day after being hit by a pitch in the 9th inning of Friday night's game. So it's one, impressive that the Sox did it without their best hitter because to date, Andrew Vaughn has been the White Sox best hitter in terms of numbers, home runs, RBIs, OPS, all that shit. But he's day-to-day. Don't know. He said he wants to get back as soon as possible. I would imagine to not expect to see him for Sunday's ball game, but that's just where we're at right now. Well, let's look ahead to Sunday. Runs in, start at the rate. How are we feeling about this? I can't say I'm overly confident in Dallas Keuchel.
Not overly confident in Dallas Keuchel. That's definitely a thing that is going to continue throughout this season, I think. You've got to just bite your tongue on this almost, Jonnie, because you want that contagious fun to continue tomorrow. You want to see the White Sox offense continue to do what they're doing. Give them some run support early. Set the tone the same way you did today. That's how you're going to win this ball game, Jonnie. It's going to be a little cooler at the ballpark than it was today. Not a lot of rain in the forecast, but still a little bit cooler. So you hope the offense shows up the same way it did today. Give Dallas some run support. You're going to need that bullpen working again tomorrow. It'll be interesting to see him. Tanner Banks only had a couple of pitches thrown today when he came in relief. You're going to have Reynaldo Lopez on a couple days rest here now too as well. So expect to see potentially some of those guys used as well. But you want to get yourself in a position where you see Kendall Grayman in the 8th and Liam Hendricks again in the 9th to close this one down. I think Velasquez did a great job today, despite the rain ending his outing just a little bit early. It probably would have came out of the ball game after that inning as well, but did a really good job not having to bring in guys like Raylo or Banks for some extended outings here. So I think the White Sox are in a fairly decent position in terms of the pitching staff to be able to go out and do this, but the offense has to show up and put them in that position, Jonnie. I think that's your key to success for tomorrow.
Yeah, you covered the key, obviously, run support. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, just in my personal opinion. And D-Bell comment here. One thing Dallas is going to do is put the ball in play. Defense is crucial tomorrow, not getting beat on the shift. So I concur. Luckily, there have not been too many defense mishaps, at least egregiously, as we had seen over the brunt of that losing streak. So defense will be crucial again. Keep up the solid play that at least has been displayed over the last couple of games here. Those would be the keys to victory. All right, who's helping us get it done, Tony? Picks to click. Couple guys have hit Michael Lorenz and okay for the White Sox. Who you got?
I want Luis Robert to just go on an absolute tear. So I'm going to take him tomorrow.
Yeah, I said I'd have to get off him for a little while so he could get back to it. Now he got back to it today, so he's back to it. I'm back to it. AJ Pollock, pick to click.
Love it. Let's stay in the outfield.
Yep. All right, I love it. Tony, final thoughts, and then we'll get the hell out of here.
It's good to win ball games, Jonnie. Winning is fun. I love it. Victory beers taste better. We'll say that over and over again. It's high time for a winning streak, Jonnie, like an actual winning streak. The Angels are going to be a tough team to beat. The calendar's flipping over to May here. You just want to have a better month than you did in April. So, let's go have ourselves a May.
Yeah, let's hope this is a turning point. And I think with the energy that was exuded along with the level of play, the plate approaches today, it very well can be. But you have to build on that and take that energy into the Sunday game here. So that's it.
That's it, man. White Sox forever.
White Sox forever, baby.